I'm not gonna lie to you, I honestly thought they had no chance of surviving. Yeah, I don't care if it's episode 4. Yeah, there's such thing as Attack on Titan. Good morning, good afternoon, giving you guys welcome to Oscar Chris is Talking. This is going to be an anime review for Goblin Slayer episode 4, and things got hella peak. Oh my goodness, I can honestly say this is possibly my favourite episode so far. I know I've said this a few times, but that's because we're only a few episodes in. But this episode I felt like had a nice balance of world building, characterization, as well as a lot more plot, because now we have this whole like talking about the demon lord generals are here, which is what the ogre was doing there. Imagine you've gone somewhere to do a job and then the job is 10 times way worse than you expected. This is called Goblin Slayer. I was expecting a bigger goblin, I'm not gonna lie. When they said the demon lords generals, I was like, oh, swear down, it's gonna be like a stronger goblin, maybe a couple feet taller, just maybe a couple feet taller. But no, we get Shrek on roids. Pretty much, we literally get the most jacked ogre ever. And I haven't seen many ogres. When I think of ogre, I think of Tekken 3 ogre. When I think of ogre, I'm thinking of Shrek and Donkey. There's not many ogres I come across in my life apart from teachers. But when it comes to it, I was not expecting this huge, monstrous, no fucks giving ogre to just go hella skank. And we in this episode we get to find out a lot more about the whole spells and how many spells that they normally have. This was brought up in the first episode, which makes me realize how poorly prepared the adventurers in the first episode were compared to the adventurers that we are with now. Any other adventurer would have literally just been totally wiped out. If there's one less member of this team, by the way, I don't know any like proper gaming terminologies, so I do apologize for my lack of weebness in that kind of stuff. And because of that, it allowed me to realize that, like, oh snap, in the opening it is a bunch of dice that's playing. Does this mean that this is another isekai genre kind of series, or is it just basically saying that the world is set up in that world, but it doesn't mean that that's what the whole series is about? And it's kind of interesting that the Goblin Slayer hadn't come across any thing as strong as this ogre. But then again, in the last episode they did have a conversation talking about how there are demons there now, which sounds hella crazy to me, because I'm like, bro, if there's demons are appearing, then I should be the first person you should tell, because I'm gonna go home immediately. But obviously, we're in a world where we have freaking ogres, we have high elves, we have dragon tooth warriors created by spirits and spells and stuff. So clearly, yeah. Talking about spirits and spells and all this kind of stuff, I just want to give a shout out to the dwarf shaman, because if it wasn't for him at the very get-go, most of their spells would be taken out. Literally, the Goblin Slayer would have done his final special move attack, which was so surprising. I didn't even know it was even going to be anything like that. I didn't even know they were even going to do an attack that could even graze or even cut the ogre. Yeah, because we saw how that was going. Every attack that was going on did not affect the ogre. But anyways, so I want to give a huge shout out to the dwarf shaman, because the dwarf shaman, he saved a lot of time by putting all them useless goblins to sleep. And like, the archer chick, that elf archer, she needs to chill a bit. Maybe she needs to have a little downtime, because when everyone's like, we're just going around just giving her one little two shank to I think the goblin's dead. But the reason why I don't know, I'm laughing about that, but the reason why that's pretty interesting, and it's good that this was brought up in this episode, is because it lets us realize this is her first mission. This is the first time she's seen what the goblins can actually do, and she was all freaking cussing the Goblin Slayer saying about how, oh, like, you're weak or whatnot, or just questioning and judging, and everyone likes to question and judge and be like, oh, what's this guy doing? Why is he putting blood there? What's he doing? But he clearly knows his shit, because he was calm. No, I say calm. He's not calm. He's broken, but he's been broken because of what happened to him when he was younger. And from the story we got in episode 2, we know that, like, he's done this so much that it's just numb to him, and he kind of enjoys it now. Whereas she's still in her first mission, and she's still scarred by what she just saw. Especially, it is also because it was another elf from Elven Village, which is just around a corner from like where that happened. So she probably thought it was a relative or something like that, which I can understand. It would affect you a lot more. But she broke quite quick. The fight was I was going to say amazing, but if you really think about it, it wasn't really amazing. They were on defense for 99.9% of the time. But if it wasn't for the lizard man that was with them, yeah, like, he was the only one who was going toe to toe. My man had a sword and was going, taking the bangs that this ogre was given, which gives it a strength feat for. So, you know what? I'm really in the mood to make videos about their strength feats of the different people in the team, because we kind of get now a form of power scaling with where they are in this series, because the ogre took like some of the strongest attacks and was like a small cut, whereas when he hit the Goblin Slayer went flying and didn't move anymore. And I was like, oh, okay, so you're kind of human-ish, you're a strong human, okay, you need special abilities and attacks. And that last special ability and attack was fucking hella awesome, and it looked great as well. I don't know how far they're gonna go, because they need a lot more spells. The priestess did amazing, but she was all wobbling and shit. Maybe she needs a sandwich. Maybe she needs some milk. I don't know. Who knows? But overall, I think the team was amazing. The teamwork is clearly something that is very important in this series. They've shown the whole teamwork thing from like the first episode, but in the first episode they showed more about how the lack of teamwork can affect you, how the lack of organization and the lack of preparation can really just mess you up. And this episode showed us how great teamwork can be done well. How if you communicate well, just the whole communication well, because like each of them are great in their own things, and because of that they knew how to help each other out. Like the elf chick who was unfortunately just brutally attacked, which they found her, and the one who everyone thought that she wanted the Goblin Slayer to kill her. Everyone thought, I'm not gonna lie, even I thought that. I was like, should you kill her? And then she was like, kill it. I was like, okay, kill all of them. I was like, oh, that was close, because I was about to kill you. Oh, okay, let's orcs. And I just love how he just turns around to him off and is like, what did you think I was gonna do? I was like, oh, no, nothing, bro. I don't know why we thought you were so broken that you go start killing humans. And he's like, yeah, I'm only here to kill goblins. I just fucking chill. Overall, I really love this episode. I prefer this episode to the others, because the others, the first one was just the whole shock factor, kind of like, let's get us into the world, and everyone was like, oh my god, how messed up is this world. The second episode was pretty good, because it kind of gave us it gave us a really nice backstory, and let us empathize with Goblin Slayer and why he's doing these things. The third one, we get introduced to the new party that the Goblin Slayer